I was going to reach out to Jeffrey. Do you mind if I just mention your name? Thanks, and hope business is going well. And you make it very easy at this point for Rick to just say, yeah, sure, go for it. You know, it's just a couple types on his keyboard to respond, as opposed to asking Rick to do a bunch of heavy lifting, and that's why this script works so well. So once you get that favorable response, which will happen 90% of the time, if not more, then it's time to reach out to Jeffrey, okay? And this is where most people really struggle, okay? I do not recommend sending a connection request at this stage. Do not send a connection request yet. Instead, what you want to do is send a message to the prospect, all right? But what's the best way to do that? Well, the best thing to do is to send a message to the prospect through a shared group. And you can find the common groups that you share with somebody in the right sidebar of their profile, or you can scroll down below to a full list of all the groups they're a part of. And if you're not in any of the same groups as them, it's usually pretty easy to find an open one and join it yourself. Okay? Now from there, head over to the group that you both share and click on the members number at the top. Then search the membership for the prospect's name, and when their info comes up in the results, you'll see that send message option appear. All right? Now, when you click on that send message, a new window pops up from which you can send them a message. And what you want to do now is leverage the relationship you have with the shared connection, in this case with Rick, to get them to respond to you. All right? And this kind of approach, like the script you see here, is very, very effective. People can hardly say no to it. All right? But you have to fine-tune it for your own circumstances and your own situation. All right? I'm giving you this script here, but it would be a mistake for you to just copy it. No doubt about it. Okay? You got to put it in your own language. You got to pay close attention to your wording. And above all else, don't include a big sales pitch. All right? The worst thing that you can do is start pitching people too soon, before you've taken the time to position yourself properly. All right? So you can see what I'm doing here with this script is that I'm kind of implicitly using Rick's acknowledgement and Rick telling me, yeah, go ahead, you can use my name. And this name dropping works as kind of a loose referral of sorts, right? And so it really gets people to open up because, hey, oh, we both know Rick, Jeffrey and Rick, good friends, known each other for a long time. This guy knows Rick, known each other for a long time. I can hardly say no to this at this point. All right? And that's why this works so well. So again, you have to test out different scripts, but if you follow our system here, this approach is successful over 70% of the time. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about what this means for you. All right? So here's what I want you to do. You've got that piece of paper and a pencil or pen handy. If you don't yet, please grab one now, all right? Because I want to work through with you exactly what your metrics need to be for how much activity you need to put in on LinkedIn and how much time you need to spend on LinkedIn to get the results that you're looking for, all right? So please, I'm going to give everyone just a few seconds here. I'm going to take a drink of my water, and I'm going to give you a few seconds to grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil if you haven't already. And let me know in the chat if you would when you've got that. Just say, okay, good to go, got it, something like that. And I saw a couple people saying that, I went too fast through the last part. I'll tell you guys that we will. Yeah, Dirk, what, only water? Yeah, I know, man. I got to be on point, though, and if I start drinking beers right now with you guys, I'm afraid I might fade out. Just joking. Anyways, I know I went a little quickly, but we've got a lot to go through today, and at the end, I'll show you guys how you can get I'll show you guys how you can get the replay of what we're doing today and all that stuff. All right? So, I am pumped as well, Chris. So here it is. It looks like everybody's good. Think about this question and write it down for yourself. How many people would you ultimately like to bring into your referral network? All right? We're talking about direct prospects, for one, and potential referral partners within the next 90 days. All right? Now, yeah, what's a pie-in-the-sky number of people that you think, man, if I had this many really key influential decision makers in my network within the next 90 days, my business would really explode, you know, in a good way. Think about the number that works for you. Write it down for yourself. You know, we promised you that we would show you how to hit between 500 and 3,000, all right, within 90 days. So those are a couple of the examples I'm going to walk through with you, and then I'm going to walk through one that's in the middle, kind of. And if your number's different, all right, you don't have to pick one of my numbers that I'm using as an example. Pick the one that makes sense for your business, all right? And I'd like to hear from you in the chat as well. What's your number, all right? So just, you know, plug in, if you don't mind, what your number is. How many prospects and referral partners do you want to bring into your LinkedIn network in the next 90 days? I'll give everyone a second. Michelle said 2,000. Avi said 150. Phil said 150, same exact number. Jeremy 1,000, Karina 500, Mark 1,000, Julian 5,000. We have a few hundreds, 1,000, 1,500, some 500s, 200, 750, 3,000, 2,500, 500, 1,000, 1,000, 250, 2,536. Very precise, Chris. So here's the thing. There's no right or wrong. And actually, I saw somebody in the chat mention, you know, quality over quantity, all right? And I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's an important thing to mention. I think that you can have both, all right? That is my contention, if you will. And the reason I say that is because, you know, you can have a small number of really close people that you know very well, all right, that, hey, you guys are going to be sending business to each other no matter what, you know, because you're just that tight. And you cannot develop that kind of a relationship with thousands of people, right? It's like impossible, right? I think the math has been proven on that one. But you can have this kind of second tier, all right, of maybe what you might call tier 2 referral partners, who are people that you would have never otherwise known who you were or known your name maybe, all right, but you are going to bring them into your network on LinkedIn and have a way of keeping your name in front of them on a regular basis, so that when either they or someone they know is in the market for what you do, your name is going to be one of the ones that pops into their mind. I think that is a system, all right, that is worth putting in place, all right, and it's a very powerful system. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you can have both quality and quantity. All right, so I just wanted to address that because that is a good question. All right, so sorry, off track again, but let's say you want to build a network of, let's see here, let's start with 3,000. Okay, 3,000 influential people in your market. You know the process I just showed you has a 70% referral success rate. Okay, and let me tell you, that number is based on a lot of experience and work on our end. All right, we have a team of account managers here in our office that do these things for our clients all day long. All right, and we've been testing these processes over the last several years. We know not only what the response rates are and the success rate of these approaches, but also how much time it takes to do it. All right, so these numbers are, you know, these are based in reality for work we've been doing for a number of years now. So based on this success rate, then, if you want to get to 3,000, how many people do you need to reach out to on a daily basis? All right, in total, over 90 days, you need to reach out to 4,286. On a daily basis, though, how many does that come out to? Well, if you divide that by 90, you get to 47, okay? All right, send out 47 messages a day for 90 days, you get to 3,000. All right, so I'm sure the next question you'd have is, how long will that take? Well, honestly, that would take about an hour or so a day, and maybe more time than some of you want to spend. Okay, maybe you know, for some of you, you have that time right now. Let me tell you, if you've got the time to carve out an hour or so a day to do it, your business is going to take off. No doubt about it. I just had a meeting a couple weeks ago with a new client of ours who's also a Linked University member, and he's at 2,800, all right, after having just 100 4 months ago. So this stuff really works. I don't know if it was exactly 100. It was somewhere in that neighborhood. But the thing is that this works, all right? But you don't have to do that much to still get some really great results. So let's look at a little smaller number. And I saw a bunch of people plug in numbers around 1,000. So this is I mean, you know, right down your alley if you had a number in this neighborhood. Again, 70% hit rate. At that, you would need to reach out to a total of 1,429 prospects over 90 days. Divide that by 90 days, all right, and you're at 16 people a day that you need to reach out to. That you can do in 20 minutes or so a day. All right, so put in 20 minutes or so a day for the next 90 days, and you could literally build a referral network of 1,000 key decision makers. All right, and why 90 days? Well, because we got to draw a line in the sand somewhere. You got to challenge yourself to put these systems in place and put in the time it's going to take, whether it's just 20 minutes a day or so, right, to build this out. It's not going to just magically happen on its own, though, right? And I told you that already. So anyways, I mean, this ain't too shabby. And look, I know everyone's busy, and the truth is that if you want to get your business up to where your goals are at, then you got to carve out a little time to do it, all right? And this is the most efficient and powerful way that I know to do it, and it works. So let's look at one more example here. Let's say you want to spend only half that time, all right? So on about 15 minutes or so a day, maybe even you could get down to close to 10. All right, let me just speed through this. It works out to 8 prospects a day. So if you could just reach out to 8 prospects a day, all right, so just 10, 15 minutes a day, you can get to the 500, all right? And I've seen a couple people in the chat, not surprisingly, saying, hey, I don't know if I could do it that fast. I think it would take me more time each day, right? So if you're thinking that, for one, that's fair. That's a fair comment, all right? But here's the thing. Initially, when you get started, it's going to take you a little more time. Okay, it's just the way it is. It's your first time doing it and getting going and seeing what works and testing different scripts. But you're going to dial it in to the point where you're using saved searches. You're not going into LinkedIn every day and just poking around and wasting time, right? You're going in and executing on a clear plan, all right? You've got the scripts down. You've got your targeting down, right? The whole process, and it's just like like clockwork, moving through these prospects and reaching out to new people, all right? And I mean, just 15, 20 minutes a day. If you're going to put that in, you'll get some really awesome results. All right. And like I mentioned a couple times, this is a real strategy for getting consistent results and building a long-term presence utilizing LinkedIn. All right. But you don't have to really stop after 90 days. Okay. So if you really want to work this system long-term, let's say you want to put in this kind of work over the course of 12 months. Well, I mean, you could definitely build a referral network, okay, of 10,000 within 12 months, all right? In fact, Ben and I are working with a client who is aiming to be at 25,000 within 12 months, all right? And we are building a plan out for him to achieve that, all right? That's aggressive, okay? And that's a lot of work to achieve that. All right, but I'm just telling you what the full potential of this is, and you don't have to stop after 90 days, all right? And think about this, too, that these aren't just random people. These are top people in your market that you'd be directly connected to on LinkedIn. And with what I'm going to show you in a minute, you'll also be staying top of mind so that when an opportunity is in front of them, they will think of you, all right? Now, here's the other side of it. You also need to be thinking about for yourself, what does this equate to in dollar terms, all right? And seriously think about it, because if you're going to invest this time, okay, if you're going to invest 20 minutes or so a day into building out this kind of system for your business, you need to be thinking about the ROI, right? And hey, what for most clients I talk to, they say, if I get a couple new clients a month, a couple new deals a month, off of LinkedIn, that'd be pretty great. That'd be pretty good. And that's a good goal to start with. And I hear that a lot. So whatever your number is, though, I mean, then think about what's your average contract worth. What's an average new client worth to you? Take that times 2 or whatever your number of deals a month that you're looking to gain from this, and there's your ROI expectation for additional income. All right. And look, everyone's results are going to be different. We've all got different types of things we're selling, different price points, different types of clientele and customers, right? But if you work the system, these kinds of results are definitely attainable, all right? And in our advanced training, we go even deeper into exactly how to do it all step by step, and we even guarantee it, all right? I'll tell you more about that in a bit. All right, so now you understand how to connect with an unlimited supply of prospects. And next, I'm going to show you how to stay top of mind with all of them on an ongoing basis. All right, but first I want to cover a few of the common misconceptions people have about marketing on LinkedIn. All right, and this is important stuff. One I hear often is that being successful on LinkedIn means making pitches and offers to people you connect with, and that's totally wrong. In fact, if you start pitching people right when you connect with them, you'll really spoil the relationship. And our system doesn't advocate this sort of thing at all. In fact, you'll really love the way we teach things because there's really nothing sleazy or nothing used car salesman about any of it, because really that stuff just doesn't work. Okay. Now, another one I hear often is that you need a brand new website to effectively generate leads online, and that's really not true either, because with LinkedIn you can develop a very solid network. And if you're not yet really proud of your website, or maybe you don't even have one, then you just don't promote it. You contain your activities within the LinkedIn network, and it won't hurt your efforts at all. Okay? Now, a third one that I hear is that, well, I'm not connected to many people right now, so it's really not worth investing time on LinkedIn. And that's what our training's all about. Okay? Showing you how you can quickly build a massive network so that that's a non-issue for you. All right? So, once you've built this massive referral network, all right, now how do you stay top of mind with all these people? And one of the best ways to stay top of mind with people so that they think of you when a deal crosses their plate is to keep your name active in LinkedIn groups. And there are some very easy and efficient ways to do this. But the first mistake that we see people making all the time is not being in the right groups to begin with, all right? Now, you can join up to 50 groups, and when you're in the right groups, this will expose you to tens of thousands of prospects. And the key is to be in groups where your prospects are, okay? Not your competitors. And each of these prospects receive emails from LinkedIn, like this one, with digests of activity from these groups. So anytime you post something into one of these groups, your name literally ends up in the inbox of tens of thousands, or, depending on what groups you're in, hundreds of thousands of people in your market. So once you're in these groups, you can make yourself really well known on a very regular basis by posting discussions like you see here. Now, most people have a little bit of trouble figuring out what to talk about and carving out the time to actually do it, but we've completely solved those problems, and our training program shows you exactly what kinds of things to post as discussions, how to quickly and easily put them together, and how to automate most of that process. So that literally with just a half hour or so of time each month, we'll show you how to set up an autopilot top-of-mind campaign within LinkedIn that will keep your name in front of tens of thousands every single day, literally. Now, if you're concerned about how much time you'll spend using LinkedIn, well, keep in mind that one of our systems lays out for you a step-by-step plan for developing business on LinkedIn in just 20 minutes a day. All right? So let me pause for a second, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what's at stake here. Okay? In the first part of today's training, I showed you exactly how to build a referral network with between 500 to 3,000 influencers and referral partners. Okay? Now I've shown you a system for keeping your name in front of not only those 500 to 3,000 new connections you'll have in the form of status updates that hit all of their home pages on LinkedIn, but also everybody in your market that's in the groups that you're going to join. Okay? And if it's a fit for you, we'll show you step-by-step how to do it all in our advanced training. But before I tell you about that, let's talk about how you can become the #1 leading expert in your market on LinkedIn. And just as with status updates, our training shows you how to break down the LinkedIn search system to exploit their algorithms and really position yourself as the #1 leading expert in your market. So take a look at this example for a search of Topeka real estate agent. And you can see that the #1 result is Brandy Chris Engler. And anytime somebody is looking for a Topeka real estate agent, she comes up #1. All right? And I'm willing to bet that Brandy is seeing some decent results from holding this position. Okay? But you might be thinking, you might be wondering if your prospects are really performing these kinds of searches. And whether or not ranking on LinkedIn even really matters. Okay? We'll take a look at this study. And in late 2012, Ipsos released market research that showed LinkedIn reaches more business elite and C-suite monthly than any other international news and business website measured. They also found that LinkedIn attracts the highest number of business elite purchase decision makers with high net worth and big budgets. So if you're wondering whether or not these people are searching on LinkedIn, I think there's your answer right there. So let's take a look now at what it takes to get this #1 ranking. And you can see, based on this highlighting, exactly where Brandy has the keywords that LinkedIn is pulling in. You can see it in the headline, in the experience section, and in her descriptions. And there are a number of areas that you can place these keywords to rank for the terms that are most important to you. And our advanced training goes into detail on all of the secrets to getting your profile to #1. And as a thank you for joining us on today's webinar, I've got 2 training videos totaling over an hour that will show you exactly how to achieve this for your profile. All right? And this will show you exactly how to get your profile set up properly and allowing you to get started right away, really skipping over the learning curve. Now, it's important for me to also mention, I think, that a lot of the other, self-proclaimed LinkedIn gurus or whatever you want to call them out there will structure a lot of their training around just the topics that I've covered today. And in fact, these 2 profile optimization videos cover the majority of what some of our competitors include in their entire courses or programs. But I'm giving it to you for free, and I will give you the link in just a few minutes. So with this and with everything that I've shown you on today's call, you're going to have a real system for building out a huge referral network on LinkedIn. Okay? But unless you're ready to commit to taking action, then none of this is going to get you the results that you otherwise could see in really a pretty short amount of time. And here's a quote from Peter Drucker, one of the most prolific business writers of the 20th century, and he said, "Unless commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes, but no plans." And if you want to know how to fully take advantage of these things for your business and to get it done efficiently, then I invite you to join our advanced training program, Linked University. And I've got an exclusive offer for those of you on this call with us today that I think is going to really make this an easy decision for you. But first, I want to let you know why Linked University even exists, all right? I've done a ton of free webinars on how businesses can generate leads using LinkedIn, and for a long time the main purpose for these was for us to generate leads for clients that wanted to hire us to do it all for them. But a lot of people aren't looking for that. A lot of people are looking for a step-by-step resource to show them how to do it and put these things in place for their business themselves, whether it's doing it yourself or if you have a team of people to have them do it for you, all right? But to train people to do everything we do for our clients would literally require 2 to 3 days of training, and we'd have to charge over $6,000 for that. And that's why we created Linked University. And by creating this program in such a way, we're able to keep it really affordable but not skimp in any way on the content, all right? And Linked U, it's for people that want to get big results on LinkedIn, are willing to put in a little work, all right, and realize the value in learning from a company like ours that utilizes LinkedIn for marketing sales every day for clients all over the world in all sorts of industries, all right? And in Linked U, we show you exactly what we do to get these awesome results. So I want to tell you exactly what it's like being a member of Linked University and the results that you're going to get from it, which we also guarantee. Let me walk you a little bit through what you're going to learn real quick, though, okay? So Linked U is completely at your pace. The core training consists of modules. Within each, there are lessons, so you can focus on the ones that you feel are right for your business and move on to the others when you're ready. And while our core training has over 30 lessons, totaling more than 15 hours of video step-by-step screencast training, we recommend you just pick 1 or 2 a month, okay, to focus on, and then move on when you're ready, all right? Now, in addition to the core training, every month we put out new releases that all our members have access to. So if something changes or any new strategies or tactics that we're finding are working, okay? And we have a monthly live group coaching webinar that only our members have access to. And in my opinion, that is the most valuable part of Linked U, because you get my ongoing personal advice and help for whatever challenges you need help with, okay? So here are the strategies and tactics that you'll learn within Link2, and I highlighted some of these at the beginning, all right? But these are really our cornerstone proprietary training lessons, including a LinkedIn % response rate, specific step-by-step training for those of you who only have 20 minutes a day to devote to this, and then as I mentioned earlier, how to use LinkedIn sponsored updates and retargeting your LinkedIn connections on Facebook. And those two lessons are getting just tremendous results. Now, in addition to these core systems that we have, we also have a number of modules that go in depth on all the other LinkedIn training you need for really every area of LinkedIn, okay? And this one here is all about really establishing your foundation within LinkedIn, understanding how to get found, how to stand out, and how to convert, all right? And this is the training that can literally get you from a few hundred to over 10,000 connections within a year. Now, you don't have to go that big, but it's an option for you if that's what you're looking for. Now, the second module here, prospecting and finding business, and I seem to have lost my bullets for this, but I'll just tell you real quick what this one's all about. With this module, we help you to find exactly who it is you need to be targeting on LinkedIn, so you've got a crystal clear picture of who your ideal client is, so that you can then just be attacking on LinkedIn, reaching out to people very, very efficiently, because you're not reinventing the wheel every time you sit in front of your computer. All right, we've got a number of lessons on prospecting and finding clients on LinkedIn, and these strategies are really applicable for any business. So no matter what space you're in, this is going to work for you. It's very powerful. We show you exactly how to do it, including the scripts that you can use, all right, to target and bring people into your network, just like the scripts that we provided to you today on this training, okay? So we've got a lot of different approaches that can work on LinkedIn, and we give you everything that you need to really put these things in place for your business. If you are promoting events, webinars, seminars, whether online or in person, we've got a lot of training on doing that using LinkedIn, whether you've got a little budget for some ads or utilizing free methods. Now, of course, we show you everything that you need to know about using LinkedIn groups to their fullest, how to target and connect with new prospects, everything you need to know about really building a very solid presence using LinkedIn groups. And if you are really looking to take it to the next level, we'll show you how to start and grow your own LinkedIn group, which is one of the most powerful strategies for positioning yourself as a leader in your space and generating even more opportunities using LinkedIn. We've got a sales strategies module where we show you, I'm just going to focus on the first lesson on the top here, creating and executing messaging campaigns. This is one of the best ways to consistently stay in front of your most important prospects and generate leads. And it is one of our, I mean, seriously, it's one of our primary secret weapons that we use for ourselves and for our clients to generate leads literally every day within LinkedIn. And this lesson and this module will help you put the ultimate drip marketing strategy in place within LinkedIn, okay? And of course, you've got access to any new releases, and as you're working through the training, my personal help during the group coaching calls that we have once a month for anything that you need help with. Now, this module here is called Corporate Best Practices, but it is for everybody because really everyone should have a company page for one. If you don't, this training will show you how to set it up and grow it. And, you know, with a lot of the stuff I've been talking about, maybe it seems like a lot of work, okay? Now, of course, like I already mentioned, you don't want to try and do it all at once. You want to work on the things that make the most sense for your business and then move on to the others when you've really built that system, right? But there is a lot that can be either automated or outsourced, and in this module, we've got an entire lesson on automation and outsourcing so you can get things set up and then put a lot of it on autopilot. All right, and then the final module here just really pulls it all together, helps you develop the right content for your audience, how to exploit other social networks, and even more resources. So really what you need to be asking yourself here, okay, is what kind of competitive advantage do you think you can build for yourself by getting ahead of your competitors, putting these systems in place for your business? All right. You know that with LinkedIn, you can reach more of the key decision makers and high-value prospects than anywhere else online. All right. So it's only a matter of really when you're ready to get started and take it to the next level, not a matter of if, right? And look, I mean, eventually the rest of the market's going to catch up because, like I mentioned, LinkedIn is growing at such a fast pace that, people are catching on. But very few people understand the strategies that we teach in Link2You, so it really is a great opportunity for those of you who are really ready to get started now. Now, before we get to the price, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute, but I want to tell you about one of our members, Mike O'Mara here. And actually, I had a video to play of Mike here, but you know, I want to make sure we've got enough time to get to the Q&A, and I'm going to go ahead and skip it, but I'm just going to tell you that Mike's been a member of Link2You since August 2012. He's leveraged our training to get to the point where a day doesn't go by that he doesn't talk to somebody that sees him on LinkedIn. All right? And with our training, you can do exactly what Mike's done in his business. Tons of people that you're exposing your business to on a daily basis and using LinkedIn as an inbound lead generator. Okay? Or like Joe here, another Link2You member who tried all the other stuff out there, okay, including another, you know, well-known LinkedIn course that some of you may have heard of, but none of that stuff got him any results. All right, he was out there buying LinkedIn books, you name it. None of that stuff worked for him until he found Link2 University, and that's when he started getting results. And since then, he signed 7 clients in just 2 months. All right, pretty awesome stuff. So, as a member of Link2You, you get all the over 30 lessons I showed you, which is over 15 hours of LinkedIn training. Again, if we had to deliver this in a one-on setting, in a one-to-one setting, we'd have to charge every bit of $5,300 for this, if not more. Actually, just a couple weeks back, Ben and I submitted a proposal to do a half day of training for a group of bankers, and our price was about $4,000. That was for a half day. So here you're essentially getting 2 full days of my time, plus we also will be working together on the monthly live group coaching webinars that you're going to have access to. So once a month, okay, you'll be working through some of the training lessons that are applicable to your business, and then you'll have personal access to me on a live coaching call, so that anything you're struggling with, any questions you have, that's the time, okay, to get my help. All right, this alone is worth several $100s a month, but we've got it all included at one price that I think is going to make this really easy for you. And you've got a double your money back 90-day challenge guarantee, okay, which guarantees that you'll generate new leads and new business using our strategies. All right, and that's included as well, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. And I'm gonna get to the price here in just a few seconds, and then we've got the we'll be giving you the free profile training as well, and jumping into the Q&A. But I want to just pause for a second, and you know, I want you to think. You know, when we were going through the exercise a minute ago, all right, and we were talking about, you know, what is a client worth to you? All right, and I want you to think about that. You know, what is a new client worth to you, right? And then what is a consistent flow of new clients worth to you? All right, I mean, you need to really think about that for yourself in determining if Link2 University is going to be the right fit for you. All right, but I think based on the responses that I was seeing earlier in terms of what your guys' businesses are and what you do, that this is going to be a no-brainer. All right, now I told you that, you know, we could definitely justify charging $5,000 for our program. All right, there's no doubt about it. But we're going to go, you know, significantly less than that, okay, and we're going to go even less than our normal price, all right, which over the course of a year, many of our members end up paying $936, okay, but we put together a special today just for those of you on this call that I think is really going to make this a no-brainer. And for everything I've shown you, all right, $495, a one-time payment, okay? And we're only holding this open until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central, all right? Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central, all right? And look, I mean, it's over 50% off the normal price, all right? And you get everything I walked through today, everything, all right? And on top of that, the program comes with not only a 100% money-back guarantee, but a double your money-back guarantee. And here's how that works. With the 90-day challenge, if you follow our system and go through our training, we guarantee that you'll build a prospect network of at least 500 within 90 days. You'll have a streamlined system for maintaining top-of-mind status as a leading expert in your area, and we guarantee that you'll generate at least one new deal within 90 days. All right? Now, that's the bare minimum expectation, of course. But I just want to show you how confident we are that this investment will